Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another great show. Man, what a couple of days we have had. Extreme volatility, of course, as Trump reorders the world politics and economics. And of course, it's a painful thing. Sometimes it's also very bullish. Yesterday it was extremely bullish bounce on the Bitcoin reserve. Today, of course, on the tariffs coming in, it is looking pretty dire out there. So yeah, high volatility. Like I always say, 20, 30 days of the year, regardless of the catalyst, is where you make and lose money in the crypto. Obviously, we look to ride through all that and get to the end goal, which is a beautiful altcoin season and bull market run, which will be coming ahead of us. Trump's got to reorganize things. He did inherit a pretty bad economy from former President Biden. And of course, he has to reorganize a lot of the relationships out there to get America back on track, because the Democrats and liberal leaders in the West have been destroying the West and also taking advantage of America. So, from an economic point of view, so very cool to see that. Trump also trying to reorganize the world towards peace rather than forever wars, which we've often had with liberals, progressives, and neocons. So it is a lot to do. We're just going to have to ride through all that crazy stuff until we get to this full-on March bull market, which I'm still expecting ahead of us. Let's see who's in the comments there. We got Brennan in the house there. Hey, Brennan, good to see you. Howdy, super. Good to see you as well. Brennan says, I'm still sticking to my mid-March prediction for upside. That's a pretty good call there. Yeah, I'm still feeling pretty bullish about March despite the volatility we've got at the moment around these tariffs. Now, that being said, there is still a bit of a scare out there about Trump inheriting a recession out of Biden, and of course the high interest rates that the Fed had. So we'll still have to keep track of that, and that's why we cover the stock market economic news on this channel. Wookie says you should hit the likes. Yeah, definitely smash the likes there as well. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell. We're streaming on 3 YouTube channels. Of course, the Crypto Night Show. We're also on Superman Crypto and also Pulse Chain X. Heading towards 11,000 subscribers, and we may be adding a 4th channel soon. That would get us to close to 14,000 subscribers. So we're getting up there. Now, if you're a project team and you've got a decent project and you want to get some brand awareness, hit me up either in Discord or the comments, and we'll catch up there as well. You can also DM me on Telegram as well. So hit that up there. Now, if you haven't joined our Discord, the link's in the video description. Got 3 product offerings at the moment. Obviously, Discord, $5 a month. Strategy Club is $35 a month. And of course, we've got a new offering there, one-on-one with myself, talking about crypto and personal finance. And that is a 45-minute session every month there. And that's a cool $99. So you can get in all those 3 products. Now, I'm going to be working on a 4th product offering, which will be coming up soon. So I'll let you know about that. It's going to take me a few days to do that, but that's coming up as well. So we're expanding the offering on here on the Crypto Night Show. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Without further ado, let's get into the carnage, because it was carnage overnight, and we'll just say it how it is, right? Say it how it is. Let's get in there, and of course, it's always an opportunity. It's also an opportunity, right? You can't, one man's carnage is another man's opportunity, right? That's true too, right? What does Brennan say? Brennan says, I might dodge the cyclone coming in. Yeah, they're probably batten down the hatches there, Brennan. Batten down the hatches. All right, so let's get into it. The stock market there, of course, S&P 500 slumps on trade warfares after Trump confirms tariffs. And of course, we see the market pulling back pretty severely there. Dow Jones, well, severely, a pretty strong decrease anyway. I would say severely is like a 5% correction or 10% on the really bad days, but we haven't seen those for a little while. Dow Jones down 0.5%, 650 points to 43,200. S&P 500 down 1.75%, 105 points to 5,849. And the Nasdaq, with all the tech companies in it, down 2.6%. So it's a decent day on a decline there, 497 points, so almost 500 points, down to 18,350. So the stock market has been hit a little bit there. So look at the monthly chart for the with the Nasdaq, and we can see that we were up over 20 back on the 19th of February, and now 2 weeks later, here we are down at 18,3050. So a nice little correction, actually, probably a healthy correction, to be honest, before it can decide to move up there. Let's go up to the commodities. Actually, let's look at the US dollar. US dollar is 106.48. That's down 1%. So a little bit of pulling off there on the US dollar. And the commodities there, West Texas down at $68.42, down slightly, and a Brent oil there, $71.44. Now, looking at the last month on West Texas, we can see we were up, about $73. Now it's $68. So, we're down about $4 or so on the West Texas. That's really good, in terms of the a cheaper economic input into the world economy, let alone the US economy. So that's going to bode well for summer driving season for the US, which will be around in a couple of months, right? So let's see if that keeps up. Obviously, Trump's trying to lower that as low as possible with expanding oil production in the United States. Gold at the moment, 2,900, didn't quite make 3,000. Got pretty close, and silver there at $32.24, but we are expecting good things for those in the future as well. So here is the big news, of course. Trump confirms tariffs on Mexico. Canada to go ahead. Trump signs order to implement additional 10% tariffs on China. President Donald Trump confirmed Monday that tariffs on Mexico and Canada are set to go ahead on Tuesday, as both nations have now run out of room to negotiate a deal. Now, he's just piling on more pressure, right? So these are still up in the air. Even after they go live, negotiations will continue. And we know that Trump is trying to work on several things. Obviously, the border control, particularly the drugs. And he is very, very big on the drugs because it's killing 100,000 to 300,000 people in the United States a year. And it needs to be dealt with now because the cartels and the drug trade is out of control. Out of control, I say. You're talking about zombie America. That's the threat that's happening there. It's just expanding. And once it takes off, it gets to critical mass. It just starts expanding further and further into high schools and everything. You guys know. It's pretty scary stuff. And so that's a big deal there. And of course, also, he's trying to reorganize the manufacturing capacities in the world, bring them to America for the golden age, right? Everything he wants to do is to push America back into its golden age. And that includes getting back a lot of industries America's lost over the last couple of decades. And so this is what he calls about unfair. He wants to get it back in the US, and it was not necessarily inevitable that it was going to go. Now, there is the thing in economics called absolute advantage and comparative advantage. And of course, he wants to move back a lot of manufacturing into the US. And so this is a big deal. You obviously see him moving big with AI. And now today he's announced semiconductors. So he's looking already inside a month. He's done $1.7 trillion investment in the United States for the golden era of the United States. 1.7. Now, I don't even think Biden did $1 trillion in all the 4 years he was there. So 1.7 trillion inside four or 5 weeks. You know where Trump is heading, right? He's going to make the golden age of America, and he's got to override things. So he's got a couple of things to do that. He's obviously got to lower taxes. He's got to get rid of a lot of the government wasteful expenses. So he's trying to get $1 trillion out of that with the $7 trillion government budget. He's trying to get a trillion out. He's trying to get the balanced budget, right? Because the deficit's $2 trillion a year. And $1 trillion's been paid in debt servicing, right? So he's trying to deal with all these problems, and of course, getting manufacturing, getting high-paying jobs back in America as well. Very important there. So he's targeting AI. He's targeting semiconductors. He is going to make this amazing. So imagine, the consumers do pay the tariffs. They get typically, I understand, I think mechanism US, they get collected by the I think he's going to make a special export, or IRS, ERS or something, export tariffs. And of course, they get paid by the consumer. They get collected by the businesses, and of course, they're supposed to. If you make it prices a lot higher, let's say it goes from $60 to $80, and of course, you can then start manufacturing in the US. If you set up manufacturing, you got to pay the sunk cost, of course, but you end up having a $10 profit margin that makes it profitable to produce in the US. And so you're going to get a lot more companies start going into the US to produce, right? So that's the idea. Now, not all some of the commodities that are getting tariffs on, of course, are subsidized overseas and get dumped on America. So those are very legitimate ones to deal with, like aluminium, for example. Others, of course, they don't have quite. They are competitive. They had some of those, comparative advantages, absolute advantages. So they're probably better to produce in certain countries. But Trump is generally trying to bring the big, heavy manufacturing back to the US, high tech in particular, back to the US. And this is all part of a strategy, right? So secure border, deal with the drugs, and also bring back major manufacturing, particularly high tech manufacturing, to the US. So that includes cars. That includes semiconductors, and also high tech. So big server houses, big high tech labs, and all that sort of stuff that's coming. So you can sort of see the idea. This is how the golden age is going to come about. All right, so Trump has also signed an order to implement an additional 10% surcharge on imports from China to set up to come into effect Tuesday, taking the total level imposed to imported goods from the Trump administration side to 20%. Now, some of those things, of course, in addition to all those economic and security and health issues, he's also trying to reposition countries politically, so particularly potential threats like China, and hem them in a bit there as well. Now, some of these economies are not in good stead, right? The Chinese economy probably growing at 0%. They say 5%, probably close to zero, maybe 1% at best. So they're actually under pressure. We know Russia's economy, after a couple of years of war economy, also under pressure. So he can use a lot of these economics, tariffs and sanctions to put extra pressure. And this is just part of his big chess plan to reorganize the world, right? So this is what he's trying to do as well. So not too bad. All right, so that's kind of where we are at the moment. So yeah, we're seeing softer ISM PMI. That's further fuels growth worries. So the Institute for Supply Management Manufacturing Purchase Index increased by 50.3%, down from 50.9. Now, anything over 50, of course, is growth. Economists had predicted 50.6, so it's a bit below expectations. So the number above 50 indicates expansion in the manufacturing sector, which makes just up over 10%. So this number here is the number he's really wanting to expand, right? This increase in manufacturing. U.S. manufacturing activity expanded marginally for the second month in a row in February after 26 consecutive months of contraction. So this is where you had all this contraction in the under Biden, but Trump's going to reverse this. Demand eased, production stabilized, and destaffing continues to, as panelist companies experience the first operational shock of the new administration's tariff policy. Now, that's a short-term pain for a big gain. That's the idea there as well. Now, the data also comes as Atlanta Fed GDP estimate now predicts the U.S. economy will contract 2.8% in the first quarter. This is almost double last week's prediction of 1.5. So this fear of recession's coming, and Trump's got to do some pretty quick things pretty fast to reverse this chance of a recession, or at least a deep recession as well. And we've had these high interest rates, right? They've only just come down. There's always a lagged impact interest rates, so Trump's got to deal with that. And how's he going to deal with it? Well, he needs to get this tax package extended and done by July the 4th. He needs to get these costs out of the U.S. government. He needs to get all these stimulus in for the U.S. economy to grow, and of course that will get increased demand with the lower taxes and really get the economy going with this investment as well. So he's doing the supply side, getting energy prices down, and expanding the U.S. energy footprint and exports. Obviously, he's already bought in straight away. He bought in India and Japan, the two big net buyers in the world. Everybody's kind of caught those. Trump courted them first, and to get deals. So very, very important there. So that is some of the cool stuff there at the moment with the stock market and the economic news. So you can kind of see his plan there. Now, before we move on into crypto, let's just play this little video as well on Trump's tariffs. This is the latest from him on that.
Tariffs, as you know, it'll start a week earlier than the reciprocal, which is going to be on a couple of weeks earlier. Reciprocal tariffs start on April 2nd. And I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to go April Fool's Day, because that costs a lot of money, but that one day. But so we're going April 2nd. But very importantly, tomorrow tariffs 25% on Canada and 25% on Mexico, and that'll start. So they're going to have a tariff. So what they have to do is build their car plants, frankly, and other things in the United States, in which case they have no tariffs. In other words, you build, and this is exactly what Mr. Wei is doing, by building here. Otherwise, they'll build, if they did them in Taiwan to send them here, they'll have 25% or 30% or 50% or whatever the number may be someday. It'll go only up.
All right, so that was from Trump. That's the latest on the tariffs there. So they're definitely going ahead with the Mexico-Canada ones. So like I say, it's always negotiations always on the table there, as long as the changes that Trump wants are made. So there's a lot of stuff there to deal with. Let's see how that goes. What else have we got? We've got Craig Pitt in the house there. Good morning, Craig. You should go for a walk on the beach. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Is that walk on the beach? I think that was I read the wrong comment out there. That's from Wookie. But Craig there saying hello, everybody, and he likes Brennan's mid-March prediction for a big rally there in the old crypto. Watch out there. Wookie says, watch the big waves, maybe take a dip. Man, you're really out on the beach there, Wookie. Well, it's still summer. Well, we officially got out of the summer months, but it's still summer here at the moment. In the sense, we're still April. Was it March? Still March. Brendan says, Wookie, great advice. Yes, very good advice. Go out for a walk there. And Brendan says, also a further 10% on top of the other 10% announced today on China Year. So they're definitely, and also that's additional to the 25%, I think it was from 2020 or 2018, I think it was when they did those tariffs. All right, so that is where we are there. Let's get into crypto though, without further ado, and we'll talk about that. So look at this. Yesterday it was the opposite, right? It was the exact opposite. It was hyper green, dark green. Today we got red and dark red. That's pretty crazy. So dark red is over 5% down also, but this time it's so red. We got extra. Actually, normally we have light pink. We have this light pink, which is 5%, but I think it's like 15% is this dark red, and then stronger than 15 is like super dark red here. Pretty crazy. So we got a Bitcoin there, 86,300. Isn't that crazy? What a volatile! It's so crazy to be in crypto. Down 8.8% at the moment, and the Bitcoin dominance has jumped back up to 59.07%. So that's back up there. ETH, which jumped really nice yesterday, is down 15% at the moment, down to 2150, which is down where my support level is. Don't know what your view is on that at the moment, Brennan, but it definitely needs to hold above 2150. Certainly 2000 obviously is pretty weak. Goes back below there. XRP at the moment is down 17.5% at $2.40. Pretty massive wipeout there. And of course, Solana down almost 20% at $143, and XRP, ADA down 20.75%. Now, for me, this is all pretty ridiculous. I mean, we kind of knew the tariffs were coming, and yeah, there was a little bit of uncertainty about whether they're going to happen to Mexico or Canada. Had they done enough to avoid them? But of course, that's still gone through. Hey, look, we still may get a deal post these tariffs taking place. So you just never know there. In any case, these were also going to benefit pretty big from all these ones here. We're going to, Bitcoin and ETH, XRP, ADA, Solana. We're going to benefit from the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, which was announced yesterday, which made them rally. So now they've been, getting smashed this time. We got BNB down 7% at $578. Like I say, we got Tron down 5% at 23 cents. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We've got Sue there. Sue down 18.5%. They're at $2.63. So pretty red day. What else can you say? Good buying day potentially. Let's see. Are you brave enough? I guess that's the thing. What else we got going? We got the chart here for Bitcoin. We can see that all on the chart there. Yesterday, the massive mad gains. Today, massive loss. So Bitcoin Reserve up, tariffs down. That's pretty much it. So we look at this. We actually, on the Bitcoin, you can see the yellow line. That's a 50-day moving average. So we actually touched that. We touched it. We never got over it. And we were at 95,237 on that yellow on the 50-day moving average. And then we got rejected from it, and we come back, and look, we've touched the 200-day moving average again, 85,700. So that's kind of where we're at the moment on that one. So that is the chart. We shall see where it goes from here. I'm still expecting a pretty good March, but as Brennan says, he's our TA guru. He says mid-March we recover onwards and upwards. Yeah, absolutely. Still very, very good about that, and it's a very important part of the actual bull market cycle too. Since our last bear market in 2022, I think it was 22. All right, so let's jump up here and move on. Let's go to Bitcoin returns. Now, you guys know yesterday we're up real nice on the Bitcoin returns. Now, it was still green for March, but it's only 2.2%. So we're still holding a slightly green, but we were up pretty massive yesterday. What was it? I'm just trying to remember, actually. It was 14% something, maybe even higher. And now we're at 2.2. So we're still holding green for March. So that supports kind of Brennan's view that mid-March we could get some real action there. And yeah, let's see how we go. Now, like I said, the only caveat out here is this kind of recessionary talk. That's the next little hurdle. So we'll keep tabs on that. And of course, recession is a technical recession. Is 2 negative quarters of GDP growth, right? GDP GD growth or negative growth in that case. And so that's 2 quarters. That gives you a technical recession. There is obviously the US has this special organization that calls official recession, so that's different altogether. Remember, they were trying to get them to call that under Biden, but they never called it right. And so, of course, we know that the Democrats pretty run all the deep state back then, and Trump's trying to gut them out, right? Get them back and get this kind of the soft revolution, right? The second revolution in the United States going on right now. President Trump, he's trying to return all the state departments back to the Constitution, back to the heart of the Constitution there, and he's getting tons of resistance, right? But he's got to move so fast that it makes it very difficult for the deep state and for the Democrats and all those Uni-Party members and the Republicans. There's still some left. He's got to move so fast that he can do that, and of course they're trying to go to courts. They've got all this in-department espionage going on, so it's a lot of stuff happening there as well. But he's going back to freedom, security, and the will of the people. It's going to be pretty cool there. Now, remember, that a lot of the power is vested in a constitution in the U.S. president. He represents the will of the people after the elections, right? So that's kind of the system that the U.S. has. Obviously, there's different forms of representative democracies in the world, some better than others. Now, we in New Zealand we have a cabinet, and they have an incredible amount of power in our cabinet, and they do all sorts of stupid stuff. But Trump, unfortunately, is doing the smart stuff. Everywhere else in the West, they've still got lunatics running around. Australia, Labor lunatics, socialist, Marxist idiots. Even the so-called previous centre-right parties are all gone socially progressive nut jobs. And we've got that in New Zealand. Same Labor, socialists, and we've got the Greens are the worst. Like they're the closest things to modern Nazis, and I don't use that lightly. They're crazy nut jobs. And then we've got that in Australia and New Zealand, and they're destroying our countries at the moment. And then we've got that in Canada. Canada and the UK are kind of the vision of our future. They're the kind of the vision, and it's horrible. It's horrible. So we've got to avoid that too. Anyway, so at least crypto. Generally, despite today's big retrace is one of the areas we get a bit of a glimmer of hope. But now that Trump's in power, we really do have a good chance there of greatness. So it's going to be fun. Ethereum, of course, was even more violent. Ethereum was more violent. Here we are. We are in a death cross on Ethereum. But at yesterday we had that big pump. We got to 50, 25, 50, so $2,550. We retraced real severe today. Went all the way back down to 2,094. And we're pretty much sitting at $2,160 at the moment. So yeah, not a great looking chart for Ethereum at the moment. If we look even further out, we really are testing the bottoms here. 2,000 is really the next psychological level, but 2,150 kind of had it here. We had quite a bit of resistance there. So let's see where we get on here, and maybe mid-March will save us all. Hey, Brennan, mid-March there. All right, so let's jump over to Richard Hart. Richard Hart, of course, feeling good about the victory, is moving on to great things. He's been posting his heart out with that. Now, he's still got this red notice from Interpol, so hopefully his lawyers are trying to get that off. Certainly winning this court case helps with that direction. So let's see what happens there. Let's see. The SEC are pretty nasty, so hopefully a lot of them will get fired and changed by the new administration, so that they don't try them dirty little tricks. Dirty little tricks being that they get this Interpol notice set up with Europe, and they also try to get to new charges in Europe rather than in the United States. This is the cheeky little dirty politics we get from the Democrats and the deep state guys. So hopefully with the new administration, they're going to drop all this stuff and we won't get that sort of behavior. So that's kind of the thing. We've got 20 days, of course, till about 20th of March for them, for even in the US case, on the US side, for them to make any reattempt. And so I'm expecting that very unlikely, less than 5%. That's kind of where I feel about that. So we'll see what happens there. But those are the two concerns. But regardless, Richard Hart bet the SEC, and it was a pretty triumphal victory there. And Richard Hart's really been posting a lot there. So Richard Hart, the founder of Pulse Chain, of course, PulseX and Hex. And of course, also the Hex, which is pretty cool. Did I say Hex? I think I did. This is one of the best charts I've seen, he says. I've been shown it before. This is March the 2nd. This is the PulseX chart versus Ethereum. So he's posted that up there, looking pretty good there. Up 4.5x there from 24 into 25 there from Richard Hart. What else did he say about that? This is a better chart. I don't know why the first chart appears to be showing the PulseX pulse pair when it clearly is indicating wrapped ETH, not pulse. And that's the chart there, which has got 4.4x there on the old PulseX wrapped ETH chart there. Richard Hart there on the third, following that up, that says congrats Ada for your pump today. Talking about yesterday on the Bitcoin Reserve, Pulse Chain did 83 million of volume on its chain today. Cardano did 3 million. Says Richard there. You guys know that Charles Hodgkins then, of course, talking about Richard Hart and fraud. And of course, he got embarrassed because, Richard won the court case, right? Richard Hart says on the third, everyone should post their best sales pitch for PulseX, Pulse, and Hex, or launching their own or launching your own coin on Pump.Tires, because Pump.Tires is another protocol that's come out of Richard and his team. And of course, that seems to, it's added a lot of volume to Pulse Chain, help burn more Pulse fees and more buy and burn fees for PulseX. So it's been pretty successful. And it's speculative, but a lot of people have been using it, and it's certainly been a popular vehicle there. Maybe there's something you like that other people are missing. If you've got a good point, other people might use it. And the other thing is that we talked about, I did the Future of Pulse Chain presentation, was it yesterday or the day before? I think 2 days ago. And of course, I talked about Richard Hart bringing other new protocols to Pulse Chain. I can definitely see this, like Pump Tires, seeing more of this coming. And some of it could be pretty damn pumpamental, especially if it targets the Richard Hart coins. So I think that could be pretty huge for sure. We got some more here as well. It is vital that cryptocurrency have the same or better privacy than banks. Obviously, somebody here talked about their crypto and then they end up getting mugged, but managed to fight them off or something. So pretty crazy video there. Now, this is where we get to the heart of the nitty gritty, because this is the last 5 hours since Richard Hart's been posting. We got there. Brennan says crypto banter, asking for Hex and Pulse to be on the crypto reserve of X spaces recently. Oh, that's pretty neat. That's pretty interesting from him too, isn't it? But I agree. It should be back. Although he did turn around and start supporting Richard pretty big, didn't he? After a long time of being, on the sidelines or skeptical. We got Richard Hart there says, I won in court. Everyone else, not so much. Won in court. This is 5 hours ago, by the way. Motions to dismiss versus SEC in court. Richard Hart granted. Coinbase denied. Binance denied. Kraken denied. Ripple denied. Tron denied. Terraform denied. Motion dismissed versus SEC court. Richard Hart granted. Well done, eh? That's not easy, right? That is not easy. It's great that the SEC is dropping cases that should have never been started. Congrats. Some were denied only partially, like in Coinbase, with the judge dropped the wallet charge. XRP bet the all tokens of securities wrap, but lost on another charge and got a fine. Give respect where respect is due. Even better, to make up for the years of abuse and mistreatment, we actually literally deserve it. And that's 103 views so far as well. Then he follows up with saying Gemini denied, and this is just an motion to dismiss. I could go ahead and post many millions of dollars in fines and settlements, but I'm really trying to be nice here. That was from Richard there 5 hours ago. So Richard there, that's a kind of a first big celebration we've seen there. Then 2 hours later, he says Pulse Chain is doing well in Ethereum over the last 8 months, not as well as PulseX though. This is the Pulse wrapped ETH from Ethereum chart there, ticking away there. So that is a chart there showing, what's that, 55% between that period. What's it, June 24 to present day. What else has we got? That is it. So yeah, that was kind of cool seeing finally there talk about us winning the court case there. So bodes pretty well. Now that's great news. I won the court case there. 20 days maybe, very unlikely. I think that the SEC was going to move on with that. But meanwhile, Magic Carpet Ride, the Ethereum from the sacrifices, 171,000 ETH. That is down 42.76%. So we're up yesterday, back down. I think we're only like 32% down. Now we're 42.76% down. So we're back to where we were like about 3 days ago. $276 million. Can you believe it? So yeah, the current value was worth 645 mil. Now it's worth 369 mil at the moment. So this catalyst for Pulse Chain, and if you watch my video the other day about the future of Pulse Chain, all the catalysts, well, this one here is just it's on the shelf. It's on the bench. It's on the bench. It's not on the field playing, but we're expecting it to play on the field some stage during the bull market coming up, and there could be a number of ways it could play the game as well. So that is where we are at the moment. So yeah, crypto volatile. Yeah, even the Magic Cart ride has to face the volatility of crypto as well as everybody else out in there in retail. All right, so that brings us to day 661. We've got about half an hour left in the day. We've got the final results here. Quadruple 0394 down 14.6%. We've got sitting just below, or actually 39% of the mean sacrifice price. So once again, we're still in that zone of beautifulness. But remember this, that Richard Hart won the SEC case, and that is very, very bullish now for the chain. It makes it very unencumbered, certainly by the 20th of March, which is about 5 days after Brennan says that the crypto is really going to rally again. That is looking pretty good. PulseX there, quadruple 0387, down 14.6% as well. They're both the same today. The buy and burn has reached 1.3 trillion. Woo! Bring it on. The 6.52% of the PulseX is being bought up and burned. Incentive token, $2.50, down 16.3%. The ratio is still pretty strong, 63,706 pulse. That's 63,767 pulse. There's a bit of a tongue twister, actually. 63,767 pulse. I had to say that 3 times just to get around it per incentive token. And we know that Richard's team, in addition to putting pump tires out there to increase volumes and deal with the meme aspects of coins, and of course burn more pulse and PulseX, has also cut the incentive inflation by 20x. So it's only 5% of what it used to be. And of course, I think last time we checked, we had lost about 40 million in the farms values, but that creates an easier, smaller liquidity pool to pump up and down. So that's going to be interesting to see that in the future, not today, but in the future. We're sitting at 55 million, so that's not going to grow very fast, as I always say. Hex at the moment is 1.18 cents. EHEX is at 3 tenths of a penny. The combined price EX and PX, let's say, is 1.5 cents rounded, and that is down 16.3% at the moment. So everything is down about 14 to 16%. Welcome to volatility in crypto. That's all we can say. Now, gas prices, 1.6 million beats at the moment, 2 cents for a PulseX swap, pretty similar to yesterday. And Ethereum is 1 Gwei, so 34 times cheaper, pretty much the same gas as yesterday at the moment, although that is volatile on the old chain. Validators have gone up, 47,355. So it looks like it's up about 100 or so, maybe 150 even, in validators. So that's kind of cool to see. More confidence coming back into Pulse Chain. I like that. The bridge, what we were sitting at, about 114 million yesterday. We're down 106 million at the moment, and that, of course, reflecting, a little bit of Hex down, ETH down, and Wrap Bitcoin down, I guess. The DAI is actually up slightly. Is it? I think that's up slightly. We're at 28 million. Actually, maybe we're down a little bit as well. We're actually just below 27. I think we were at 26 something yesterday, though, weren't we? So we might be up a little bit there. Hard to tell. Can't remember exactly. So that is the Pulse Chain. Let's go to the volumes. 30 million in volume on Pulse Chain at the moment. 231,000 transactions in the last 24 hours. We only got a little bit of green stuff here on the trending 6 hours. A couple of new tokens here. Solana. This is probably on pump tires there, up 20% in the last 11 hours. And what this pup ones here ran around for 4 days. It's up 13.5%. And it's got 104k liquidity actually. Now, I'm not endorsing any of these, just talking about what is up on the trending 6 hours here on Dick Screen. It's kind of the default view, but everything else is kind of down. So it's probably the reddest day we've seen for quite some time. So that is pretty much that at the moment. Where are we ranked on the Dick Screener Dexes? Well, actually, we're ranked number 5 on the chains. Look at that: Solana, BSC, ETH, Base, and Pulse Chain. So we're actually not ranked too bad there. That's going to lead us into, of course, Titan X. But before we do that, we've got any more comments? We've got Hexcavator in house there. Hey, gang. Good to see Hexcavator. Hope you're doing well there. And that's probably worthy of a plug. So let's give a plug to the Discord. Discord link is in the video description. I've updated all the links there. So only $5 a month for the Discord there. Join up and become part of our awesome community for the Crypto Night Show. And, of course, we cover crypto, politics, and many other things. The other one, of course, is the Crypto Strategy Club. Join up to that, $35 a month there. And we're constantly passing through intel and opinion pieces in there. So get in on that. And we've got a new offering there, one-on-one with Superman. That's me talking about your own crypto and personal finance. Get in on that. That is $99 a month for 45-minute session. And, of course, I've got a new offering coming up, which is going to be pretty cool. But that's going to be a little while away. So, maybe a week or something. We'll see how quickly I can do it. But that is coming up as well. All right, get in on that one. All right, so Titan X EQ system. Well, it was up yesterday. We're still trying to find the bottom, but market volatility, let alone the Titanx ecosystem volatility, is influencing. But we got some good news. It is down 17%, and that's a pretty big day. But actually, the ratio is up, and that's what I've really been caring about, is the ratio to ETH, because we know ETH will move around. But this is the price at the moment. So we had a nice little bounce off 1700. We went all the way up to 2500. We're now just below 2100 at the moment on the price. But as you guys know, really what I'm looking for is the ETH ratio here, Titanx versus that, and it's actually holding up okay at the moment. So we were all the way down at 10 zeros, 6900, and now we've rallied all the way to a loser zero at 9, and we're at 1000. We're just below that at the moment, so we'll just add the zero on again. We're at 10 zeros, 9700 at the moment. So hopefully we can hold on to that and start zigging our way back up to glory. To really start getting an uptrend confirmed on the ratio, we need to get over 1600. So the 90, 1600, that is our target up here. And I can put that little target up there. Let me put that up there. That's our first one, right? We want to get over that thing. That is it. So, and then start zigzagging up, hopefully towards the third wave, as we call it. The third wave sounds like an alien movie, yeah. The third wave. It's not an alien movie. I'm telling you, it's not an alien movie. What is it? The fifth wave? That movie was called Fifth Wave. Did you guys like that? Let me know in the chat if you like that Fifth Wave movie, because it was okay. It was okay. Man, I still don't think they've done the ultimate alien movie yet. It's still out there to do the ultimate alien movie. They could do something really good. I got plenty of ideas for that. It could be pretty amazing. Anyway, enough of that. Let's not get too digressed. Good to see Tintop in the chat there, by the way. All right, so let's jump over to that. I'm going to change my screen here because we're doing charts. So let's move into a bigger screen. How do you guys like that? Brian's going to be happy about that. Brian will be happy. In fact, he's probably in Discord telling me that I should have done that already. We got Dragon X there at 8.24. Whoa, only down 11.23. That is big news. So yeah, Ethereum's down like 15%, but actually these are doing pretty well. So the US dollar obviously going up and down a little bit there with ETH price, and Titanx ratio holding up pretty strong. But actually, Dragon X versus Titan X, this is obviously, look at that. That's really good. Look at that. Oh, good. That is looking good. So 6.46 Titan X per 1 Dragon X, but it's now at 8.24. That's a really, really good sign there. And of course, there's a lot to come from Dragon X founder, isn't there? We're waiting for protocols and things like that. And the buy and burns turned off too. So we're looking forward to that too. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's been turned off. Let's go check. Should we go check? Pretty sure that. Well, sometimes they might have turned it on without me knowing, right? Because I didn't get to see, but I'm pretty sure it's still turned off. So let's have a look here. We got yeah, it's turned off. See, zero there. But there's still $2 million in there. And obviously, if ETH goes up, then that goes into even more than 2 million, 3 million, or whatever, depending on where the ETH price is. Right, we'll get 50% gain up to 3 mil. So not bad. So yeah, doing really well. Is Dragon X there? Not surprised. X28 down 90%, and the ratio at 0.84%, real weak. Like I say, we're going to need to get the Omnichain theory, Omnichain launches to start picking that up. So we'll have to be a little bit patient. I'm sure Jake is working on that one. Shogun's going Omnichain too. That's down 14%, but the ratio is actually up to almost 6,000. So good stuff happening there on the ratio. So let's quickly look at that. This is going Omnichain as well. And that is, let me go to the daily here. It's no good showing the hourly there. And we're going to log that, shall we? We log it? Yeah, log it. When in doubt, log. So that was the price in US dollars, but actually I'm looking for the ratio to X28, and that is up to, it's gone up. So that's kind of cool the last 2 days, and staying up there for almost 6,000. But of course, the ratio to X28 to Shogun is at 0.84. So that's got to get some recovery as well. But like I say, we need the Omnichain roadmap probably to kick off there. Hydra is minted out, right? So Hydra is 0.10, only down 10%. That's, and the buy and burns off. So man, we're going to get some exciting things there. You wait till the buy and burns start kicking out. I don't know how the guys are going to do it. Obviously, the sentiment at the moment in the market's not a good time to do it. But who knows where they come out there. And Hyper pretty much mining out as well. So that's probably going to do some cool things as well with the buy and burns. Hellas is going over to base chain, Omnichain. That's up 10%. So there is some green in the old Titanx as well. So actually, you can see some of the underlying meshes here actually pretty good with the ratios, but particularly we've got Helios there. That is going over the base chain, right, with all its friends. Now, Vault is still at 10,000 Titanx, so that's really strong. And we've got a big roadmap coming there, right? We've got Ouroboros lending. We've got where Vault will be a collateral. We've got Thunder vaulting. Vault staking, which is ready to go. It's all audited. And then we've got Bitcoin Genie, which must be pretty much audited by now, pretty much. So that's coming up as well, all benefiting Vault. And meanwhile, you've got, I don't know, last time I checked was 650,000 Vault burning a day, probably a bit lower than that now, maybe 600, let's say. And that's burning Vault off every single day. So pretty cool. Inferno is going omni-chain as well. We found that out from Crypto Utah. So that's going as well. Yeah, we got Lotus is down 9% at the moment. So let's go to Morpheus. Morpheus there was up big yesterday, down 20% today. 1/3 of a Dragon X there at the moment. So yeah, that was big yesterday. What was it, up 60% or something, 80%? Down 20% today. They're still holding up pretty well there. Alien X is up 16%. So we've got a few green shoots here. Alien X up 16%, pretty good. The best performer today so far. Baby Dragon X is going omni-chain. What else there? We've got Tink Farm is down from yesterday, 20%, still at 4.4 cents. Element 280 there is going omni-chain, and also Element 369, and they're all going to be paired up together and then matched up with Uranus there, which is the first project on base chain, doing pretty well, 1.9x28, and we know that big LP webbing is going to be added there. 100 billion Uranus tokens going to be added to all these other pairs, linked up with Element token, increasing the tax turnover and increasing the burn on Uranus. So that's going to be really, really cool there. Big shout out to the dude and stuff. We're going to have them on the channel, by the way. They're coming up for a live stream, the dude and James. It's going to be pretty cool. In addition to that, of course, we're going to have we're also going to have another founder coming up for Pulse Stream with the Signum Oracle. Now, we were supposed to have that on the weekend, but he had a final issue to deal with. And, of course, the market sentiment's not the right time at the moment, so I think he's just holding off there. So hopefully we'll get Signum Oracle coming, launching soon, and that's very important. Lots of cool things there happening at the moment. So kind of cool. Yeah, so coming up, we're looking forward to Bitcoin Genie, looking forward to YBMX, which has been delayed to mid-March. And probably wise to do that, actually, now that in hindsight. And then, of course, that's going to benefit Tink Farm. And then we're also looking for Taurus, which is probably going to launch in March too, is my guess. It was expected to launch in Q1. That's from big influencer there, Cryptographics, heading into some advanced tokenomics. That's kind of cool. Who else has jumped in here? We got... was it Brennan says Brian is on a phone call? Very interesting. Yeah, that's the Strategy Club there. If you want to join that link, that is Wiki's link there. Hey, Wiki, may check to make sure your link is still working too, by the way, because I haven't checked your link, because I have made some changes the last couple of days because I don't know if the link was deficient because I had the wrong profile on there. So I have fixed those up. What else there? We got, that's it. So that's pretty much it with some of those comments. Let's go back into the rest of the world. Hey, look, we're not doing too bad. 42 minutes on the hour. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Man, what volatility. This is crypto. We're waiting for altcoin season, but, Trump's reorganizing the world order. And I'm, as annoying as this with the volatility on crypto, if we don't get world peace and prosperity and freedom back, then, we're going to be, it's just going to make it much harder in the future to enjoy everything, right? So, a little bit of pain for some long-term gain, and hopefully, it's the way to go, right? So, have a brighter world. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Join up the Discord. Links are in the video description. If you want to get that 90% sweet referral bonus on a PUSD ALGO, the big stablecoin and DeFi project coming up from Jacob. After the Signum Oracle is up and running, then get on that one. You have to be patient around the time frame, of course. That's the way to go. And I will catch you guys in the next one, right? Kind of cool. Pineapple says, where can I see all the PRC20 coin contracts or major ones there? Well, you can go to a Pulse coin list, or you can go to GoPulse. So you can hit those. Now, those links are in the links on Discord. We have all those links, so you can go on there, and you can also ask. We have a crypto helpline too, by the way, in the Crypto Night Show Discord, so you can hit up that too. All right. Right, so hope you guys enjoy it. In fact, I'll post the go list one here so that you can go to it now and you can check that out. Bam. We like to help. We aim to please on this channel. Oh, what the heck? I don't know what that was. Let me just let me go pulse here. That is it. Just scroll down. Just scroll down. Just scroll down there. That's all you have to do. All right, we're going to post that. Bam, bam, bam. Let's post that one there. All right, that is the link there. We've got Brian in the house. What's up, folks? Good to see you, Brian. Community leader in the house here. All right. That is that. All right, so kind of cool. And if you just scroll down, you'll see a lot of different tokens down the bottom here. You've got lots of different tokens on Pulse Chain, a lot of the popular ones. You can click on those and bring up the list. But I think the other one is Pulse Coinless, right? Pulse Coinless. This is probably the definitive one. It's probably even, it's got all these tokens and everything else, ecosystem charts and everything else. It's a beautiful thing. All these tools. Look at all these tools. Look at the ecosystem. Look at that. All projects and everything else. Gorgeous site there. Beautiful site there. All right, so I'll post that link too. Man, I'm just so friendly. I'm so friendly. What a friendly guy. What a friendly guy. All right. Got to go before I get in trouble. Got to go before I get in trouble here. All right, so that is the Pulse Coin List site there. Bam. And that gives you all the information about Pulse Chain there. That's what you're after there. Hopefully that itches the thirst there. Good old Pineapple 888 in the house. All right. Take care, everybody. I'll catch you guys on the next show. 45 minutes sounds pretty good, and I will see you in the next one. We'll be